Hello friends, welcome to the course of Marketing Management 1. I'm Dr. Vinod Malkar, Professor of Marketing, and today we are going to discuss the unit number 2, Consumer Behavior. Under this, the topic is Introduction to Consumer Behavior, Meaning and Importance of Consumer Behavior. In this unit, we are going to discuss about introduction, meaning, importance of consumer behavior, comparison between organizational buying behavior and consumer buying behavior, buying rules, 5 steps of consumer buying decision process, problem recognition, information search, evaluation of alternatives, purchase decision, post purchase behavior, and again, in this unit, we are going to discuss moment of truth, zero moment of truth, changing consumer buying behavior in India. So, moving ahead, who is a consumer? Consumer is any individual who purchases goods and services from the market for his or her end use is called as an consumer. Consumer is an end user of the product. In simpler words, a consumer is one who consumes goods and services available in the market. There is a difference between customer and consumer. Customer may be or may not be the consumer. Consumer is a end user of the product. If parents buy a toy for the kids, so parent is a customer and kids is a consumer. So in this talking about consumer behavior is the study of how and why people acquire and use products for themselves and or their household. Consumer behavior is the study of when, why, how, and where people do or do not buy a product. So, here we have to understand why a particular the product has been purchased, how and where people buy or do not buy the products. There are so many authors has defined the consumer behavior. Let us have a look on various definitions by the authors. By Shiffman and Knock, the behavior that consumers display in searching for purchasing, using, evaluating, and disposing of products and services that they expect will satisfy their needs. Again, Lodon and Beta says that the decision process and physical activity engaged in when evaluating, acquiring, using, or disposing of goods and services. Also, the Wells and Pensky define consumer buying behavior is the study of consumers as they exchange something of value for product or service that satisfies their needs. We'll have a look on how the evolution of consumer behavior happens. The discipline finds its roots in the marketing concept and has been essentially interdisciplinary in nature, as a subject is emerged as a separate field of study in 1960s. Initially, the focus lays in the marketers' attempt to study the causes of consumer behavior. The assumption was that they could identify the reason behind consumption behavior. They would be able to predict it, and if they could predict consumer behavior, they could influence it. So, the emphasis was to predict consumer behavior. The approach came to be known as positivism. Gradually, the focus of the study changed. The marketers wanted to understand the customer better, and this approach came to be known as interpretivism. So, consumer behavior is an interdisciplinary roots. It's having a combination of psychology, sociology, social psychology, anthropology, and economics. So, a persons to understand a consumer behavior have a good touch in this area also. Moving ahead, why we should study the consumer behavior. The knowledge of consumer behavior helps the marketer understand and predict the consumption's pattern and consumption's behavior of a people. It helps them gain insights as to why consumer behaves differently to another consumer, as well as why a consumer behaves differently in different times and buying situation. The study helps them understand the initial individual determinants and external environmental factors, forces that model people to act out different consumption patterns and behaviors. The study helps the marketer analyzing the environment, segmenting, targeting, and positioning, designing the marketing mix, designing the marketing strategies, as well as governmental and non-profit organization and social marketing. So it is the heart of the marketing strategies. Once you understand the consumer by consumer behavior, then it becomes very easy to design the marketing strategies. So why study again what the consumers buy? So we'll come to know what exactly consumers buy in terms of goods and services, why they buy. So whether there is a need and what they want. When do they buy? What time? What day? If you take an example of Diwali festival, so the occasion is very important, and many often the family buy the product from an Hindustan liver like moti soap. So we should understand the time when the consumer buy, where they buy, whether they are purchasing the product at a retail shop, at online mode, or the convenient to them. So as a marketer, we should study where the consumer buy the product and even how often they buy it. Every product have a life, and the fast moving consumer goods have a frequency of buying. So a marketer should know the frequency of buying of each product. If you take an consumer durables like an refrigerator and washing machine, so it may take 5 to 10 years to buy another product. So every marketer should understand how much of an interval consumer buy the product. And if you take an example of toothpaste, it may be by during a interval of 15 or days or 1 month. How often they use it. So it's again how much of frequency. That's why many marketer has come up with buy one get one free. So have an attraction to larger amount of purchasing. So in nutshell, the marketer gets an idea about why there is a need of study of consumer behavior. Once they know what, why, when, where, how the consumer buy or do not buy the product, it becomes very easy to design the marketing strategies. So it gives you the better understand the customer to develop better marketing mix strategies. Thank you for watching the video. Please subscribe our channel SK Business. Thank you.